Let me confirm.
See the red bar.
Hold on a second. So we're recording now, but it's always a lag. So we got to make sure we're actually live right now. Refresh. Okay. Well, we have. Do we have any comments?
Just as long as I can't see how many people are watching.
That's how it works. Okay, we are live. All right. So I want to say good morning to everyone out there for this edition of Breakfast Runs with me, your host, JP Warren. And in the hot seat today, we're sitting with Cody Godsell, a senior drilling engineer over at Toro Resources. You like how I got that?
Yeah.
And Scott Witt, the senior account manager at American Cementing, also a service business partner of the premier elite networking group, Crew Club. So good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
And so let's say who's tuning in? Where are you tuning in from? Say good morning. I know that we just had a crew event last night in Oklahoma City that was unbelievable. We had about 18 people packed in a room, and if you can fit 18 oil field cats in a room, you can imagine the noise level to that. So we're sipping on some lattes made by our barista, Scott Witt. Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
Let me try your latte.
Okay. No criticisms though.
That's really delicious.
Oh,
really
yeah.
fresh.
I have a feeling
Only
you're gonna say
affirmations.
that.
Yeah, only affirmations. That's what we do. That's our love
Yeah.
languages here.
After I made you the
Affirmations.
third one, it finally turned out.
All right, so where we got people tuning in from? All right, so we got Derek coming in hot to JP Bring the Makeup Crew. Derek, I don't even know what you look like anymore, man. I think you were supposed to go to the crew event in Houston, but oh yeah, okay, that's what you look like. Still in your LinkedIn pic. Of course, I brought the Makeup Crew. That's how we rock. Oh, we got Rawson tuning in. Sup, Cody and JP, but not
Rawson.
Scott.
Oh man.
Ouch. Okay, we're keeping it real here.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
know
it's all about,
Rawson?
the breakfast room. I met him during the pandemic. He flew down, a good buddy of mine, Matt Bernard. He flew down, we had the dinner together and all that stuff, and he's an Oklahoma boy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked with him at Chesapeake for a while.
Where's he at now again? Is he at he's one of the recontractors maybe, right?
No, I think he went to Repsol. I could be
Okay,
wrong. Sorry if
all
I
right.
got that wrong.
It's okay, Ross. There's a lot of change and movements in the oil field right now. Justin bringing that. Good morning from Magnolia. Good morning, Justin. How are you today? We got old Casey Stout. Good morning from OES Testing Facility in Willis, Texas. All right, that's on the outskirts of Houston. For those of you that don't know, we got Chris tuning in from OKC. Chris Brooks, OKC, Oklahoma. Love it. Monica, the hottest wife, literally, because the AC's out at the house. So sorry, Jordan Hess, for messing with you, and hopefully we get that fixed, Monica. And I can't wait to see you this afternoon. Thanks for tuning in on this lovely morning. All right. Michael Hale. All right. So Michael had the Michael Hale,
Yeah.
the one and only Michael Hale, who was the previous Breakfast Run guest.
Yeah.
He had the Oklahoma Geological Foundation event last night at Topgolf. And Michael, you were missed last night, but I know you were doing great things, bringing people together at Topgolf, and I hope it was a huge success for y'all. And I'm looking forward to chatting about that after this, off the line, as we say. Offline. All right. Good morning from Marquis, Texas. Johnny Hutchinson. Kyle, good morning. Kyle introduced me to an Oklahoma favorite of Brandy Ice last night, which is probably my new favorite.
Yeah, that was good.
Dude, that was really good. Yeah.
That was my first brandy.
I know. I felt like a kid like discovering blizzards for the first time from DQ. It was so good. All right, we got Craig tuning in for my favorite breakfast spot in the Woodlands. I don't know what spot that is. Probably Denny, Waffle House. I don't know. I don't know if there's breakfast spots in Houston. Dre's tuning in. Hi guys, and Dre, I want to say hello. Good morning to you. And we're about to talk about plug the community sponsors for Kids Crew. Placer and Walt is a sponsor for Kids Crew Oklahoma City, which will be here on October 28th. So good morning to you, and we got the notes. I love it. All right.
Yes, Sheree, I have all of your notes.
We have notes. So usually on breakfast runs, it's very a candid conversation. But I think we have some stuff to cover.
Yeah, this one's 100%.
We got 6 pages
Yeah.
front and back, so we got a lot of stuff to discuss. So
No, but we have a lot of sponsors, and we didn't want to forget anybody, so we made sure we made good notes, and so appreciate Jerry's help.
Dan Wilson, good morning. Good morning to you. And Rawson says sorry, Scott. So thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh.
All right, we got Jess tuning in from Dallas, Texas. What's going on, Jess? Thanks for tuning in. Caleb tuning in. Good morning, Jess. Good morning to you. Oh, Rawson's at Oxy now. That's good to know, brother. All right, so good morning. Good morning from Houston. I don't know who this LinkedIn user is. Apologies about that. Next breakfast run should be in the metaverse. I'm all about that. The Oculus Rift thing, I dig it. Big Spring, my buddy Jonathan Rhodes tuning in, probably from Tiki Island on his patio sipping a coffee. Lucky guy. John Sandsberg in Big Spring, Texas. James Van Alstein, morning all. Good morning to you, sir. We have Matt Mitchell. Good morning from Austin. Okay, so we've been kicking this off, so it's not really before we kick this off. I got to give a shout out to our sponsors, Royal Completion Tools. Check them out. Awesome group of people. And word on the street is that their plugs don't slip. Hint, hint. All right, so just FYI. So we want to give them a shout out. And obviously, we have to do the commercial right now. So here we go. This is Royal Completion Tools, and here we go.
To all you completion engineers, company men, and consultants out there, are you sick and tired of losing sleep over frac plugs not getting the depth, not holding pressure, or not drilling out properly? Or maybe you aren't getting the best quality and service from the bigs. Well, stop burning the midnight oil and rest at ease while using Royal Frac Plugs, the most reliable and efficient frac plug on the market. Start your successful completions today by getting in touch with Royal Completion Tools. You can contact them via www.royalcompletiontools.com, sales@royalcts.com, or via LinkedIn. Contact them today to check out some of the best frac plugs out there.
Making sure. All right, so that's Royal Completion Tool. We need to update that video. So I want to thank them. They just re-signed to kind of be a sponsor to continue this. I want to start putting out more breakfast runs. So if you're an E&P operator, you want to kind of get behind the camera and kind of have a casual conversation, let's do that. And so I guess we're going to get kicked off on the subjects today. The first subject I'm going to be discussing, because I guess I'm the host and I kind of want to discuss it, is I am going to be chopping my locks for kids, for Sky High for Kids, September 8th in Midland, Texas, okay? And now there's a competition, apparently. I didn't even know we're competing. Keith Stelter and I are competing to raise the most funds and awareness for this cause. He is beating me now, which is, I'm so happy for him, okay? It's a great cause, but if you're listening to my undertones, I am not. I want to beat Keith. So if you can, donate into your heart of kindness and giving, and I'm going to put the link up right here on LinkedIn where you can just kind of chime in, and boom. All right, so that's where I just dropped the link where you can donate to get my hair chopped off. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a great cause, and yeah.
And that's October
it's September 8th in Midland, Texas for Sky High for Kids.
Right.
And the second thing I'm going to plug, and then we're going to get to y'all, is I went to the Science Museum of Oklahoma yesterday.
Yeah.
Y'all been there? Check it out, yeah?
I love that place.
So we are hosting Kids Crew at the Science Museum of Oklahoma, and I kind of did a site visit, and that place is legit. Yeah. So kind of like looked at the space, and we kind of started putting some stuff together. So anyway, we are having Kids Crew, Oklahoma City, at the Science Museum of Oklahoma on October 28th, okay? And this is what it looks like, all right? We got community sponsors, Plaster and Wald Consultant Corporation, Ascent Resources, our STEM stations are Novo Oil and Gas, 89 Energy, Rocks Exploration, Aventive, and our STEM sponsors, New Park and Aventive, and tickets are on sale. So if you want to kind of get involved, pass the word around to your friends and family. The whole point of Kids Crews to provide some sort of education, a fun evening of education about energy, hydrocarbons, and we're going to have a lot of STEM stations set up where they kind of learn how hydrocarbons are essential in our everyday lives. You can check that out, www.kidscrew.com. So got a lot of sponsorship, a lot of tickets available, and I think that's kind of it for. I want to thank obviously all our sponsors and all that stuff, but now there's a dog here named Fletcher. All right, so Fletcher, it's kind of he's the director, so we're kind of listening to what Fletcher wants. So he wants to go outside, but he gets a biscuit every time he comes in, so we're good. All right, so gentlemen, I'm pumped. All right, so exciting news. I was talking to Scott 2 weeks ago or something like that, and he was talking about this at the AADE MidCon. What's it called? The Technical Symposium Exhibition, September 13th at the Emmy Suites, Norman, Oklahoma. And we're obviously gonna kind of provide the link and all that stuff for this. But he was talking to me. He's like, "Hey, you're gonna be up here the 13th." I said, "I don't know what's going on." And he started kind of getting into I'm gonna let y'all discuss the topics, but it sounds like an awesome afternoon, an awesome day, and I moved some things around.
Thank
I
you.
shuffled some schedules up,
Appreciate
and I will be up here that entire week, and I'm coming in hot on the 13th, where I'll be broadcasting live from the AADE MidCon Symposium and exhibition. So that's gonna be awesome. I think Matt Hill also will be going live too. So that's kind of my connection to this, besides the awesome people of Oklahoma. But let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about this. So you sit as president of AADE MidCon. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Congratulations, Mr. President. And you're a vice president.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So we got Biden and Camila here, which is awesome, which I love. So let's but it's the same title. So okay.
Sure.
So real quick, let's talk about what the September 13th real quick, and let's kind of talk about AAD a little bit more. So talk to us. What's going on September 13th?
All right. So on September 13th, like JP said, we have the symposium, and we're going to have, I think, 7 speakers come in so far to do technical presentations. And we have, I can't find the people that are presenting right now, but we got Devon Energy coming in to do a talk. Rockcliffe's going to come in, talk about casing flotation and HPHT horizontal wells. Chesapeake will come in. Riley Schultz is going to be talking about the U-turn lateral in South Texas, executing that first one down in that play. So that's a talk that I'm definitely looking forward to hearing.
Okay.
I haven't heard it yet.
You have your questions for that?
Do I have questions? For
Yeah. I always plan the tough questions
yeah.
before. You always got to plan the tough, put them on the spot.
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. So who else? Who else we got coming to talk?
We got Ascent Resources. Chase Holderman's going to come talk about their 34,000 foot measured depth well that they drilled.
Awesome, dude.
So the whole execution and planning of that. So that'll be really interesting to hear as well.
So it sounds like there's going to be some really good speakers from some great companies. And so it's going to be a great afternoon, or a great day. I don't know why I keep saying afternoon.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole day.
It's a great day of not only kind of learning what different operators are doing, or kind of success stories from that, but also for a networking stance.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay. All
right.
right.
We'll have the exhibition floor open. So we'll have all of our exhibitors there, and in between the presentations, people can go to the floor and network and take a little break. And
who's the keynote speaker?
Keynote speaker is going to be David Ramsden Wood.
That's going to be good.
Yeah, he's going to be telling us the truth about energy. So that'll be
I
good
love
getting
it.
his take
Have you
on
seen
that.
him talk before? Have you ever been on have you chatted with him before?
Not live, but
Okay.
I've seen some of his videos.
Have you seen him live before?
No, not live. Just on. Yeah.
I love his live speeches and all stuff. He's very it's interesting. It's the way his brain works to me is just like he can like unravel stuff, or like then he'll like attach it to like different events going on. Like, oh my God, I never thought about it that way. So I love whenever he talks live. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, he'll be our keynote lunch speaker. So
Okay.
definitely make sure you don't miss that one.
Don't miss that. Don't go there for about 10 minutes and get in the car and take the day off and say you did that all day.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Nobody would do that.
Nobody would do that, but you do want us to go there and network. And
Yeah.
so what other information you got about that the day?
Well, I was just thinking as he was going through this, every presentation we have is really kind of exciting. I mean, we were talking about, Chase and Riley with Chesapeake and Ascent, but Giandria, I want to make sure I say Gianni's name right. He is president of 87 Upstream, and he's going to be talking about his title of his topic is bolstering a team through shared adversity. So I think that's going to be a real interesting talk. And then Steve Donnelly with Marathon will be here, and he's going to talk about drilling during COVID. So that's going to be a real interesting talk. I'm excited to see what Steve has to say, and Steve's a really good speaker. And then Joe Bravetti, who is managing partner of Charter Oak, he's got a presentation. He's going to talk about budget conscious horizontals in the big lime. If you've never seen Joe present, Joe is fantastic.
Okay.
Joe's really good with presenting all that stuff. And so he's going to talk, and that'll be good. And then we have Jeff O'Brien, the VP of drilling for Rockcliffe, with casing flotation. And then Devon's going to talk about bolstering a team through shared adversity. And we maybe, we're still working on it, but
This is not a promise.
this is not a promise, but Continental has reached out and said that they were looking at presenting too. So there may be a couple of more presenters that come in.
So we're
So-
just putting a little pressure on them right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
pressure.
Oklahoma City Continental. Let's get you chimed in on the AAD MidCon.
Yeah.
We want to see you. We want to see you there.
Yeah.
I love Continental stuff that's very focused on like American oil and gas, like very, very proud about our industry and all.
Yeah.
I love their message.
But if you're an engineer, drilling engineer, or even just an engineer in Oklahoma, it'll be the place to be that day. It is going to be good. A lot of good information. I got a lot of good networking, and that's what the AADE is for, basically, is, for drilling engineers to network, share knowledge, and have a community that is theirs, just like the SPE. And so that's what we're trying to foster here. So it's our big event for the year for technology, to showcase technology. And then of course I have a whole list, which we probably should go through later, but of booth sponsors.
We want to give a shout out to the sponsors.
Yeah, we have a lot of sponsors. So.
All right, so you can do a sponsor. Don't read them in a list.
Well, I won't remember them.
Sing them or something like that. Like sing to a tune.
You don't want me to sing them.
Oh yes, I do. All right. Are these the sponsors right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna do this. Okay, this reading off a list is never an exciting thing, but in order to get to show the momentum that's behind this event, read this one.
Yeah, this is our newest list.
Okay, this is the correct one. All right, so we have about 12 pages on the table right now. I feel like we'll do it live.
Yeah,
okay. All right. So exhibitors are Altitude Energy partners, Chapel Supply,
yeah.
CUD, Downhole Tools, D-Tech, Impact Fluids, MD Todco, Petrofit, Reed, Hycalog. I hate reading live. It was like, anyway. Rival, Torex Bits, Through Tubing, Tomax, Turbo Drill, Ulterra, who's also a sponsor of the Kids Crew in Houston, Universal Fluids, and Wellsite Services.
Yeah, so like JP said, those are all of our exhibitors. They'll be on the exhibition floor and have representatives to talk about their tools and equipment. We still have room for more exhibitors. So if you guys are out there and you want to have a presence at the symposium, just contact me or Jerry or Scott, and we'll get you all set up.
And I also put the link there. I put the link in the LinkedIn comments about LinkedIn comments, whatever. I put it up for the symposium. So if you want more information, just scroll through the comments and check that out. And that's how you can kind of contact these cats and find out how you can get involved a little bit more. And then what else? The general sponsors are AES Drilling Fluids, AIM Directional, New Park Drilling Fluids, Plaster and Wall Consulting. Look at Plaster and Wall. I love it. I mean, they're helping the AADE MidCon event and also helping out Kids Crew. So what a great group over there. Superior Supervax, Torex Bits, Through Tubing, Unit Drilling, Universal Fluids, Vero, and Washita Valley.
And then our big sponsor for the event is NOV. They came through. They're going to have a pretty large presence there, so they're our title sponsor for that event. So.
All right. So how can we in the break room, just us talking here, because no one else is tuning in, listening right now, like a normal breakfast run. What can we do to kind of support? What are y'all looking for from, I guess, the industry and the community and all that stuff? Is it ticket sales, the sponsorships, service companies having a place on the exhibit floor? What are y'all looking for?
Yeah, my biggest thing right now is I just really want to get more engineers involved here. We've got a decent amount signed up right now, but we have room for a lot more, and we'd love to just kind of pack this event so that we have some good networking opportunities and can really share that knowledge around.
Okay, so you're pretty much supporting all the functions, whether it's ticket sales or, I mean, honestly, this is probably a good thing if grab a ticket, bring a buddy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. We also have, if your company wants to reserve a table, we have that option where you can buy a table of 6 and you get the 6 registrations. You can make sure you're all sitting together. So
and not breaking out of that little group. If you're nervous to network, you just stay in your little clique. All right. So if you want to feel safe, you get a table. That way you don't have to actually move around the floor that much, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. All right. So that's a good call.
But yeah, on that, so if you're a member of the AADE MidCon, it has to be the MidCon chapter. It can't be the Houston chapter because we're all separate entities.
Yes.
So if you're a member of the MidCon chapter, registration is $50. If you're not a member, it's $100. And then that pricing will close on September 2nd. So if you want to make sure you get the best pricing, please register online before that. But we will be accepting walk-up registrations, but they'll be at $150.
$150. So you might as well act today and donate to my hair fund, and also get your ticket. Get your wallet out and save some money so you're not paying $150 walking up.
We'll have all those links in the one spot, so you just click and donate to the hair thing, and then you
Boom.
click over.
That's it. It's that easy.
Buy your tickets to Kids Crew and all that stuff.
You know what? This is a time for OKC to come together and support all these great causes. So is this something that the symposium and all that stuff, is this something that's done a quarter, once every 6 months? How often is this held?
Yeah, we do it once a year.
Okay.
We typically rotate between Tulsa and Oklahoma City.
Okay.
This year, obviously, it's in Oklahoma City or Norman. And
close enough.
We usually do it in the spring, but with COVID, I believe we had to skip a year.
Yeah.
And then with what was going on earlier this year, we decided to push it off until September. So. Okay.
All right. So it's once a year. So this is your first time doing it as president?
Yeah.
Mr. President?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of overwhelming.
What about you?
Yeah, first time helping Cody run it. Yeah, but not my first attendance. But
no, not your first,
yeah.
but I mean, sitting on the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
First
All
time.
right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you all excited about it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right.
Excited and nervous. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's kind of. I mean, whenever you're putting together something, it's your first time doing it. Believe me, it is very nerve-wracking.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great event. Is there anything else? Any points in the 12 pages we'd like to go through before we kind of get into other stuff?
So the big thing is, like Scott hit on, is like AADE's mission statement is to share all this technology across the industry, get different operators talking to each other, and we use the money that are the proceeds from all these events.
Yeah.
We use it to fund our scholarships.
And talking about the scholarships, the great things y'all are doing.
So we've been giving out scholarships for the last 20 years to students at various different universities. And since 2002, we've given away $471,000 in scholarships. So all the proceeds of this, we go into an endowment fund and they distribute money to those students. Usually it's for 4 years, I believe.
Okay.
And then they just kind of trail off as the student gets through their studies.
2 and 4 year, with 2 different scholarship funds.
So how many scholarships are given out a year? Is that? I mean, I think it's a bullet point in the notes. So I'm gonna put them on. They're on the hot seat. That's what happens here.
This year we gave out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
9 scholarships?
Yeah. Each year we award 9. Yeah. And that might be going up because our funds are growing.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
And everyone, this is Fletch, right? Fletcher. This is Fletcher. All right.
Yeah.
That's right, puppy. Are you going to the symposium?
She wants.
Probably. Everyone wants to. So she is. So all right. What else is going on with the symposium? So ticket sales, obviously, we have a link there for that.
We got a discounted hotel room rate with the Embassy Suites.
So that I feel like that's something you probably should drop. So if you're coming in from out of town like myself, actually, I need to know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll have the link to that. It's also on AADE's website.
Okay.
So all that information, the discount code, and I believe that is extended through September 2nd as well.
Right.
So make sure you book that hotel room.
Get your tickets and book it. Save some money. You don't come in last minute.
Yeah, and you'll make sure you won't miss the very first presentation, which will be marathon. So.
Well, I am going to miss that because I'm coming at 10:30. But after that, I'm going straight live. So you can always tune in and check that out. But you kind of want to be there.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Definitely.
Want some latte? All right, guys. So what else is going on? So does anyone have any questions about the AADE symposium that's coming up on September 13th? Please feel free to kind of man, Jerry's on the ball. I love it.
We have questions.
So anyway, so we got the hotel number and all that stuff right there. So if anyone has any questions and comments about how to get involved, what to expect or anything like that you'd like to ask right now that we can probably answer for some cats out there, some folks tuning in right now, let us know. And we'll just pull them up on the screen and start discussing. So anything else, guys, about the symposium before we get into kind of some industry chat? Some general industry conversations. No?
No, I think we covered a good portion of it. I mean, we thanked all the sponsors.
Doreen, if there's anything they're missing, please chime in and we'll make them discuss it.
I mean, everything, all our links and everything, if you go to www.aad.org and then scroll down to the MidCon chapter, everything, all of our links are in there.
Okay.
Scholarship applications, the links to this. We also have the F5 Fin for Feather Food Festival coming up at the 1st of November.
That is such a good time.
Last year was a big thing, and the food was absolutely dynamite. And then it's a precursor to the Houston event, which is just a week later. But our event here, man, I think this year, Jerry may be able to tell us, but I expect 500 people or more to be at that event.
Yeah.
It's
So
a
what is
big
it?
deal.
So
It's
what is
fun.
this like for y'all as president and vice president, having
So-
two huge events less than 6 weeks apart? I mean, that's got to be a lot of challenge logistically and all that stuff. I mean, but it's kind of exciting though.
It is exciting.
You
Yeah.
knock them out.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
an exciting fall into winter. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I don't. Hopefully, I can make that F5. But man, I'm gonna be up here for the kids crew and the crew club stuff, and that's just a week later. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
we're
if-
going to be at the Aspen Ranch again.
Okay.
We were there last year. For people that remember, it's a beautiful wedding venue or event space. And last year was such a hit and packed that we actually had to get the larger event space. So
Yeah.
Well,
we're
I'm sure
gonna be-
people, whether they remember going there is one thing, but leaving, different story at F5.
Yeah, if you've not been to an F5,
It's
you
unbelievable.
have to go.
It's
so
an
great.
old field cookout, pretty much.
It is.
With some creative cats cooking some great foods.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's awesome. It's
It
very
is. The
good.
food last year and the food this year. I think we're going to have more cooking teams this
Yeah.
year. So I mean, last year, I think the winning team was maybe KLM, which was an airline quail on a waffle with jalapeno jelly. And
Who thinks of that stuff? But it's
it was-
phenomenal.
it was absolutely fantastic. Everything was great. There was no bad food. Everybody's food was
It's always
terrific.
dangerous, though.
And then Houston,
they don't count those calories.
geez.
Don't count.
No,
Oh,
not at
so-
F5.
Yeah, both of those events, Oklahoma City and Houston F5, are must go tos.
Well, the Houston F5 is great because you fill up with food at F5, and you go a mile down the road to the Waffle House, and you fill up on more food at the
Yeah,
Waffle House.
yeah.
After. That's
Yeah.
usually what happens. It's usually the schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little Waffle House after. So all right, so let's kind of get to the industry chat right now, fellas. What's going on in y'all's world? I guess on the drilling side, on the cement side, what kind of it doesn't have to be related to obviously drilling or cement and all that stuff, but what are some kind of interesting challenges that we're seeing? And for example, I remember this has been an ongoing topic in our industry for quite some time now, whether it's the shortage of people, whether it's sand, whether it's pipe, whether it's this, whether it's that. It's just, and those themes are still continuing and as relevant today as they were 6 months ago when people were talking about it. So
That's right.
what do you kind of see? Oh, hold on. Coming in. I love it. All right. Yeah. The F5. Yes. I love it when people chime in because it makes me feel like people are actually listening. So thank you, Jerry, for tuning in so much and providing so much great information. So going back to that, I guess kind of, there's the cook team registration link. So going back to that, so is it kind of the same, I guess, challenges that y'all are seeing? Are you seeing anything let up a little bit than what you're dealing with about 5-6 months ago?
So casing availability in my world has let up a little bit, but it is just ungodly expensive.
Okay.
Like 200% of what it was a year and a half ago. So you can get the casing, but you got to pay for it. So
what's the decision process? I guess what's that decision process of, I guess, kind of like, I know it's 200% more and all that stuff. It's like, do we really need to do? But I mean, you're kind of at a point where it's like, you have to pay that if you want to actually continue operations.
Yeah. And it used to be you could pay for casing as you go.
Yeah.
Right. But now all the casing suppliers want their money up front and they want those commitments. So you're paying for millions of dollars of casing, which is affecting your cash flow.
Right.
Your CFOs are probably not too happy with that. And you just got casing sitting in the yard, not making money, but you have to buy it up front or you're not going to have it.
So you're seeing it kind of lighten up a little bit, but now it's just a question of cash.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And then the same beating the dead horse is hand availability and experience level on the rigs. We're struggling with that now, getting rigged up. I think we're on day 7 of our rig move because it's just one thing after another is broken and just training the hands up as we go.
That's the thing. I mean, it's such a challenge right now for our industry because a lot of people have been drilling 2.5 years, 2 years, whatever that is. And even if you have been drilling, you're right. The level and the quantity of experienced personnel in the field is not what it used to be. So, people think they can kind of just hop back on a rig and, spud a well, drill a well, and all that stuff that quick. And they're not planning for any downtime, or they're not planning for any learning curves or anything like that. That dramatically affects, I guess, the schedule of everything. So That is a huge challenge we're facing. I'm also hearing stories about, people going, getting jobs. And, first off, you have 10 applicants, 4 will show up and maybe 1 comes to the location, maybe 1.
Yep.
But we're also having a difficult time, I guess, retaining the new personnel that are out in the field right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of they'll get there to do a tower or 2 and be like, I'm done, peace, I'm out. So
yeah, they find out how difficult it is.
that's a challenge too. So is it a question of, for me, I feel like it's oil field pride. I mean, I remember, 2019, there's a lot of pride to work in the oil field. And it seems like since, 2020, that industry pride, when it comes to bringing people in, it's kind of diminished a little bit.
Yeah, and I attribute that a lot towards our current administration that you referenced earlier.
Well, I'm sitting with president and vice president here, so I have to.
I mean, they've kind of made it a widespread culture to not support oil and gas operations. So, I mean, that sense of pride is kind of diminishing because everybody's hearing in the news that like oil and gas is bad and like
it's gonna be gone in 30 years.
Yeah. So
yeah.
That's got a lot to do with it.
I think that has a lot to do with it. People, it's like they want to throw money at the problem, which obviously that's a huge motivator for a lot of people working. Majority of them, everyone. Anyway, I don't even know why I'm going down this rabbit hole, but the oil field money that you can make on all this stuff, you can make that at Buc-ee's now. You can go to Buc-ee's is this big gas station. I'm sure y'all heard of it in Oklahoma.
They're paying like $22 an hour.
Oh, 22, 24 with 401k. I mean,
same for truck drivers.
Yeah. So it's I mean, that oil field cash, the oil field trash making oil field cash isn't really around anymore. I mean, you can make the same amount going to Buc-ee's and all that stuff. So it's for me, I saw a lot of pride in our industry. A lot of people, like rolling their sleeves up, working with others, solving complex issues. And it's just like, that's kind of few and far between, it feels like.
It certainly feels like a lot of people left the industry and didn't come back after COVID.
It seems like people have just disappeared everywhere though. Because you go to restaurants
and
they're short staffed.
Airlines
are short staffed. Yeah. Everyone's short staffed, so I don't know where all the people are that are not working.
I don't know. So what else? What are you seeing right now on kind of your side of the table?
Well, supply chain. I mean, we're focused cement, but supply chain right now seems like it's easing up a little bit, I think.
Okay.
There's been a lot of supply disruptions in general in cementing. Of course, cement's kind of regional, whether you get it out of Lafarge or cement's coming from, Lehigh in Texas or wherever it's from. And there have been some raw cement supply disruptions from plants going up and down, doing different things, maintenance or issues and just different things. And the oil field is such a small percentage of the overall cement,
and the steel,
and steel, too, yeah. And so, it sometimes maybe has a little bit of a backseat in their bigger picture. But it seems like right now supply is getting better, but that cost in the supply chain hasn't seemed to have remedied for anyone. And I think that's true pretty much across that supply chain. It still exists. I think it's going to go through the rest of this year, that cost in the supply chain.
Yeah.
And it hurts everybody,
I mean, Jeff Long was just telling me a month ago, they were actually allocating cement volumes from industry to industry.
Really?
So if nobody's read it, Atlas Shrugged, in that book, they start allocating different supplies, right? And it's a fictional book, right?
Well,
but they're allocating steel supplies.
So
to
it's 1984. It's a fictional book, but still, it's
coming true more and more.
It curtails reality, unfortunately. Yeah.
It's a light read, just like 1,000 pages. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's a plan.
You didn't think we were talking about Ayn Rand today, did you?
I get it.
Cody, right off the deep end.
Yeah.
No, but I mean that's. And then I also read Ready Player One, and they were talking about the energy. Pretty much Ready Player One's the dystopian future and all that stuff. They were talking about there was an energy crisis where I guess all the fossil fuels, all the stuff, and like the solar panels aren't working, and so there's like they're talking about allocating fuel and all that stuff, and you're kind of seeing that in Europe right now, which is creepy.
Yeah.
But on top of the supply chain, back to the people conversation, I think even in the oil field right now, and of course there's a lot of people my picture is kind of limited to the cement world, I'll admit, but as you watch the bigger, everything else going on, it seems like we are more people limited than we are supply chain limited going into the end of this year, right?
Yeah.
The expansion is kind of limited by the number of people that, you can really put to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Drivers for sand or drivers for our bulk equipment or, rig hands,
Yeah.
It's all across the board.
It raises a big safety concern too. I know you guys are really worried about safety, but you put a lot of new, short service employees out there.
They don't know where not to put their hands,
Yeah,
and they're
it's-
getting them smashed between ladders and equipment
Yeah.
or underneath stuff they're not supposed to. And
That's my big worry, in the oil fields, is just getting everybody home safe at night, right? Because I've been on that operation end, and that's what will keep you up.
I think, one of the things that I went to Texas A&M and spoke at the SPE group there. And I've been to a couple lunches and industry lunches when people go to, colleges and high schools and kind of talk to them about, whether it's, STEM careers or whether it's, the industry. There's a lot of misconception right now that we're going to be gone in about 3 to 5 years. No, you're laughing, but that's a serious discussion point.
Yeah.
And I think stuff like AADE, what y'all are doing, I think reaching out to local student SPE chapters or whatever, and just getting in front of them and introducing who we are as an industry, and kind of providing some real world, I guess, conversations on the state of the industry and kind of what we not just what we do, but kind of the realities of everything, because they're being taught that we'll be gone in 3 years. They're being taught that renewables that's the only way that that's going to power every great nation moving forward.
Yeah.
And the technology's not there, but the understanding isn't there.
Right.
So I think getting involved on the younger generations and all stuff is
like
extremely.
you're doing with the kids crew.
Yeah, but it's even like whether it's kids crew from ages 4 to 12 all the way up to college, whatever. It's now is the time to kind of reach out to the younger the kids and kind of provide some sort of framework.
Right.
Yeah. And
Without the hyperbole, right? Without all the drama.
Yeah.
and just real talk about what energy and economics means to the
Yeah.
world.
let the kids know that gas doesn't come from underneath the gas station. It comes from drilling a hole in the ground and pumping it out, refining it, and send it to markets.
But the thing is, we're sitting here kind of smiling about that because we know the process.
Yeah.
We've been in the industry. Before I got in the industry in 2004, I didn't know where gas came from. I knew a little bit, but I had no idea about the complex, capital-intensive process of finding hydrocarbons.
Mm-hmm.
And I think education is a huge low-hanging fruit we can do as an industry. And you're seeing a lot of different cool educational stuff come out. You're seeing stuff all over the board about some really good content about our industry. Now it's just a question of kind of spreading the word. And you're right. It's not one of those things where we're trying to do a platform or pitch a viewpoint. We just want to have real engaging conversations.
Yeah. We have student chapters at OSU and OU for our AADE organization. And maybe we need to brainstorm something where we can have those organizations kind of
collab,
teach up the greater student body out there,
Yeah.
So instead of just being everybody in that organization, them trying to have some outreach. So.
Yeah. So everyone kind of banding together a little bit.
Yeah.
So what else is going on? All right. So if you have any questions, chime in. I know you've been hearing us kind of sit around the table, the break room, in this very clean, cozy house. It's I feel like it's staged. Anyway, we're in Scott's house right now. This is the cleanest house I have been in my life, and it feels very staged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially one that only a male lives in.
Yeah. So you're like, oh, dude, it's just me living here. I'm like, yeah, exactly. If it was just me living here, there'd be stuff everywhere right now. There'd be garbage everywhere.
Well, my wife is, we're in Oklahoma City today. My wife is here sometimes, and she decorated the place.
Well, she did an amazing
She
job.
did a great job, man.
She did a great job. If she's tuning in, is she
made-
tuning in?
Most likely.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Just like my wife. She's probably
not.
Amanda's not tuning in?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, they're gonna miss all the good conversations we're having at this table. So, what other what questions or comments do you have for Cody or Scott about anything professional, personal, AADE, MidCon Symposium, anything at all? John Renfro chimed in, OCTG forecasting and cost analysis. Thank you. Okay. I don't know what, hold on a second. Okay. Favorite restaurant in OKC? Okay. That's a great question. I love changing it up like that. So we've hosted Crew Club events and we just started doing this in January. It's been Petroleum Club a couple times, right?
That's been really good.
It's been Vast a couple times. It's on top of the Devon Tower.
Right.
The views there are unbelievable. Broadway 10,
Yeah, Broadway.
Red Prime,
Mhm.
and Mahogany's, right?
Right.
I do have to say the coolest spot I've been to in Oklahoma City was yesterday. We went to Teller's, at the
Teller's.
First National Bank.
So
It's
fantastic
this
now.
1920s bank that's been
I think
repurposed like a bar and a restaurant.
Yeah, I think that building was built in the 20s. You're
It's
right.
absolutely
It
gorgeous.
says on the
there.
front. I've looked at it a million times. I don't, yeah.
Man, I would have to
So,
say Cheevers.
I'm sure somebody out there knows.
Cheevers?
Cheevers is
Cheevers?
typically rated the #1 restaurant in Oklahoma
Cheevers
City.
is so good. I would say
Cheevers
Cheevers,
is
but for a steakhouse, the only steakhouse that I'd say is my favorite. I love the vibe at Red Prime.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I thought last night was pretty good.
Oklahoma City is kind of, of course, I grew up here, and you guys didn't. But for those that grew up here in Oklahoma City, I grew up here in the 70s and 80s. It's so much different, so much better. But there's so many great little restaurants, mom and pops that have come up in Oklahoma City, as opposed to the chains. And there's restaurants in Oklahoma City that are hidden gems everywhere. It's just fantastic. There's great Korean food here in Oklahoma City, which I'll give a shout out to my friend Joe Blakey at Kenai
Joe
Grilling.
Blakey, Kenai
Introduced me
Grilling.
to. One of my favorite restaurants in Oklahoma City is Mexican Radio, which is over 16th in Indiana. They have the best tacos.
Wait, where did we
Best
go?
tacos.
Where did we go with Mike? Where did we meet up with Michael and Dave Parker?
Barrios.
Barrios.
Oh,
Michael, that was a
man.
great spot.
Fantastic.
That was a cool
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah,
We went to Cheers after that.
that's right. We can
Uh,
talk about restaurants in Oklahoma City for the rest of the hour.
I mean, I would honestly say I love the vibe of Red Prime.
Yeah.
All right, it's really cool. It's really sleek. I thought Broadway 10 was pretty damn good.
Yeah, Broadway 10 is good.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
look, here's the deal. We have opportunities to explore all these restaurants. So I want to go to Junior's. So Junior's, for all my Houston friends,
Center.
Junior's is the equivalent of Houston's Fouad. So this is kind of a little H thing. Who of you out there been to a Fouad's before in Houston? Apparently, there's a restaurant in Oklahoma City that's just like that. It's like no light has seen the inside of that since like 1972.
There's no windows.
I think it's still burn heaters in there, like it's like 1986. Like red drapes,
Everything's red.
yeah. I want to go there. I want to do a brandy ice there. I want to give a shout out to Kyle for introducing me to brandy ice. That was phenomenal.
My favorite restaurant, aside from like a steakhouse, which steakhouse would be the Ranch. I think it's the best in town.
That is the third time I've heard that in
Yeah.
the past 24
You'll
hours.
keep hearing it.
Okay.
But no, my favorite restaurant, just typical date night, is Clark's Crew Barbecue
Oh,
on
man.
Northwest Expressway.
That's right.
It's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah, they're award-winning barbecue. I mean, they've won the national competition.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Just
So they're-
don't get their fried pickles because they're sweet pickles, which is
Oh, I love them.
Really?
Yeah. I
My-
love 'em.
Are you all right? I'm a pickle slice guy, not a spear guy. You can keep the spears.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. So Michael says you go in the vault. We did not go in the vault as it was open, but we will because I think we'll probably
Tellers.
Yeah, it wasn't open yet.
at Tellers. And he goes, Frida is best for me. What's Frida?
I have not been to Frida, but I've heard great things about it. I have not been.
Okay, all right.
So-
I dig that. We got a cat chiming in. 2 cheers for Fouad's. I think I still have a tab open at Fouad's since 2017.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's it's always it's one of those nights. So
I haven't been to this place. Is it a basement? In
it is
Houston?
no, it's
And
like in the strip center, like off of Westheimer,
Oh, okay.
like not like Westheimer, like Galleria area, or Westheimer, like it's like in the middle of like old school Houston before like right after the Galleria, like kind of in that zone right there. It's right next to the melting pot, and you go in. There's a piano there. There's no menu. You can say, I'll get a fried peanut butter jelly sandwich or caviar, and they'll do it. They have it. And all
Wow.
but it's a bunch of old school oil field guys and girls just hanging out in this dim lit restaurant bar area, which is like Junior's.
Yeah.
It's like very dark and it's good though. It's an
Okay.
awesome time. So if anyone has any question, what else we want to talk about this morning? We got a fun weekend coming up, busy day. What's up?
I have a church retreat this weekend. So
Okay,
we're
where at? Where's it
We're
going?
going to somewhere northwest, or no, it's down by Minko. It's southwest of town. So-
Okay, all right, all weekend.
No, it's just tonight into tomorrow. So
Okay, all right. What about you?
I'm going to spare my wife the college football 0 weekend and stay here in Oklahoma City for
Okay.
one more day and then go home. Because we live in Fort Worth, but I'll go home probably Sunday so she won't have to experience college football this weekend. She's
Yeah.
not a big football fan, but I'm a huge. I mean, this is
Yeah, it's like dove season for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are you
no,
playing
so-
this weekend or?
no, OU starts next weekend,
Okay.
but yeah, so big OU fan, like a lot of people. I'm a secret Texas A&M fan because I kind of went to school there a little bit too.
That's good, Bull.
Yeah, so
That's good, Bull.
yeah,
Wrong with that.
college football starts this weekend.
So,
Very fun.
all right, here we go. So, if anyone else anything for us, Cody or Scott, I want to thank y'all for taking. First, I want to thank you for hosting us in your beautiful home, and I want to thank you for the second cup of latte. Not the Americano, but the latte. I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you all for obviously the time that y'all are doing this and kind of taking out your Friday morning after
we appreciate
a very successful crew club event, which was awesome.
Yeah. I'm always surprised how fast the time goes by. I mean, me and my wife got there a little late at 6, and I think we left at 10:30, and it was just.
It flies by.
It seemed like it was 2 hours, but it was like 5.
It's always so cool. I mean, what I love about it's like, like people are like, for people's first times, they're always like nervous, like, what is this? What do I got to listen to? Well, okay, what's the catch? I'm gotten by this. What's the catch? The best part is though, whenever you get there is no catch, and it's
right.
the vibe in the room, the energy in the room, and how people kind of develop their contacts and the banter and the BS that goes around the table is, to me, it's unbelievable. I love it.
We were there 7 hours yesterday, and we never ran out of something to talk about.
I know. Actually, we got to
7
the point where
hours.
they're like, all right, yeah, Nick came in, the waiter, he's like,
Y'all
y'all,
leave?
y'all
right,
done?
maybe
I'm
you need to go.
exhausted.
I don't know.
Y'all got kicked out. So,
I didn't even realize until I got in the car. I was like, we were there 7 hours.
But that's-
and
I mean-
we never ran out of something.
and the best part is too, it's like obviously there's a lot of faces that come back, and a lot of people that come back, but it's always awesome seeing like when people come for the first times and how they're just kind of they're part of the group, they're part of the crew. So I dig it. So so thank y'all for doing this. I'll be back here on the 13th to go live at the AADE. What are you? Oh, Michael Hale, what are you reading right now? That's a great question. What are you reading right now? Are you a business book type of guy, or you just read for pleasure?
A little of both.
Okay.
I try to swap back and forth.
Okay.
So like I said on Michael's breakfast run, I just finished Comfort Crisis,
I want to get that.
and it was really good. I had a hard time putting it down. So every free moment I had, I was reading it. Just read it off my phone, read it on the stair climber at the gym. So,
Are you a reader or are you a listener?
I try to read. I capture more of the content that way. But other than that, I've been reading a fantasy book.
Okay.
Just
All right.
a
What do you mean
pleasure.
fantasy? Like, what is it like? What do you mean fantasy book? Like, what kind of character? What kind of fantasy?
This was postmodern society after the collapse of civilization. A new
Regime?
new race of people popped up. People with red blood and people with silver blood, and then kind of in between. People with silver blood have special powers, and people with red blood are just like me and you. We're just normal people, and there's always a constant power struggle between the silver bloods thinking that they're better than everybody else, and they try to be kings and queens and control everything. So
I love
And then-
dystopian stories.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I always dig those.
that one's been interesting. I'm on book 4 of 4, finishing that one up. So
Okay.
about a third of the way through that one.
And all of them are enjoyable?
Yeah, this third book was a little slow.
Okay.
But it picked up at the end, and now I'm cruising through.
Kind of like season 2, 3, and 4 of Westworld. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
I'm like,
That's
every
exactly
time I watch West, it's such a vague show. It's like, they're
Yeah.
coming. Who?
Yeah.
You'll see. And it never answers it. It's like, well, who are they?
Yeah,
You'll see. You'll see. Is it Red Rising?
No, but
Ooh.
I just heard about Red Rising, and I want to read that next. It's actually Red Queen.
How does this guy know so much?
Michael knows everything.
you
Yes.
are he knows so much.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
like-
Red Rising is the next on my list.
Okay. All right. Same kind of concept.
It seems like it. Yeah.
Okay.
There's different levels within the societies. I guess there's like red, gold, silver, platinum, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But it all has to do with like their abilities. So.
All right. What about you, Scott?
Well, we were talking about this last night, and
course.
Michael, and the book is right over there. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's called Strength After. It's on
How to win
fireplace.
friends and influence people.
No,
No, it's below that.
no, I'm kind of like Cody. I'll read a lot of fiction, but then I throw in a nonfiction, and I may speed read through kind of something. And a lot of times it's because Mr. Hale tells me to read something, or he's reading something that sounds interesting, like Russian history or whatever he's on to right now.
He talked to a couple of proof about like the history of like the finish and like the rubber thing and how it translated to like an African Civil War. It's crazy.
We appreciate it, Mike.
Yeah,
we know
absolutely.
how knowledgeable you are on these things. We really appreciate it. But no, this book I just read is kind of interesting, and it's more was kind of aligned to where I am, being now in my mid 50s, and my wife and I, we've been talking about this lately, is, being able to, I'm kind of past that point in my career where I am a really, really good thinker. I mean, and I don't know, I don't want to say that badly, I don't want my boss to think, oh yeah, Scott's
not a good thinker. Not a good thinker.
But this book is
here's your performance review.
This book is all about how you change over time.
Yeah. And
how if you're a real goal-oriented person, you have to refocus your goals, because success in your 20s and 30s and 40s, it doesn't, at some point your career will stop and peak, just by age or by cognitive reasoning and I've noticed I think differently now than I was when I was, trying to get my master's in economics, 30 years ago. Right. We were talking about this last night with Michael Dunn, and just how you reprocess and reorient your goals in life and how that's healthy. And this book talks about that. And I mean, in the book, it's kind of straightforward. He's like, most people will really peak in their thinking skills at about 40.
That's awesome. Then I'm past my peak.
You're past your peak,
Monica. I'm past my peak.
But you replace that with different things, and we typically just call that wisdom, right?
Yeah.
You replace those with empathy for people and just wisdom and ability to work and experience, and those things are different. And so it was kind of an eye-opening book. I really enjoyed that, and because my wife and I, we're kind of in that period in life where we're thinking about what's retirement look like, what's that piece of our life going to look like, how do we orient the next 10 years, and are our goals to be the next promotion is really not maybe my goal, anymore, and obviously, I mean, I continue to want to succeed, and, I'm very, very lucky to be at American Cement. I want to say that.
Yes. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to still work hard.
Absolutely. And it's not about work. It's not about how hard you work, but it's really what how to orient your goals so that you're happy doing what you're doing.
Dude, that's the thing. I remember starting out, I would chase whether it's titles, you chase this, you chase that, and you kind of get to a certain point and you're like, even if I got that, whether it's sales manager title, right. Like, do you really want that? Like, do you really want to kind of, stop focusing on like meeting people or networking or your relationships with your customers, stuff like that? Right. It's like, will you be happy if you get that next promotion? Right. Will you be happy if you get those extra responsibilities? And it's one of those. I completely agree with that. I dig that. It's like you have to redefine like what is actual success? What is being content in my career? Yeah. It's not always chasing that next step or the next platform.
And I mean, something I've learned in my career, is you kind of go through the beginning of your career. Cody, you probably think this too. It's very focused on what do I know, how technical things are. What are the things that and then your career kind of changes into how you deal with people, and how well you can deal with people. Yeah. And it's not as much of how but how you work with others, and it's kind of been an eye-opening for me over my career.
Unfortunately, the college system doesn't do a good job of teaching that part of it.
No.
I mean, you get social aspects and interacting with other students, working on projects, but just the real emphasis of how heavy that can be and how much it influences your career is not well known.
And that's an added challenge too. I mean, I'm not being this cat, but it's like relationships are extremely important in our industry. And right now, or any industry, I feel like, right now though, you're right. That's not taught how to, work with others and all this stuff. And I think being in proximity with people, and look, whether it's work from home, flex schedule and all that stuff, I'm not getting on that thing, but I'm saying there is a certain, right now it's more acceptable to have, work from home. right? It's more acceptable to just respond to an email versus meeting someone in person for a lunch or a meeting or something like that. It's gotten much more, I guess, normal to not meet with people, to kind of answer questions on on the computer and kind of call it your day. But you're right. I think when it comes to advancing your career, advancing, I guess, your effectiveness as an employee, it's absolutely crucial to know how to work with people and how to treat people right. Yeah.
I think that's why you see a lot of these tech companies that really want to bring their folks back into the office, because they realize, especially, I really feel bad for all of these kids that got out of college and then hit the job market and all of a sudden COVID hit, because there's so many relationships you make when you hit that you're in an office. I mean, my wonderful, wonderful wife, she and I met because we worked together, right? Actually met at Texas A&M, but we spent a lot of time at the same company working together, and so that's how relationships are formed. And I have lasting relationships that I've had for 40 years because of people that I met
in the office.
Yeah, in the office.
I'm trying to think when I started off at Noble, and you talk about mentorship, Carrick Payton, Kirk Atkinson, like there were some mentors that it's not like I got paired up with them. They were there and they showed an interest in me and developing me and coaching me and all that stuff. And that wouldn't happen if I was at the house. Like I wouldn't have that chance encounter and to call them mentors, because I'm just kind of being there. Yeah. And that's a big challenge, I think, for people that are graduating college right now.
And I think we all agree that companies' success is a lot driven by culture, and culture is harder to build when it's remote and it's not. But post-COVID, I think I'm really excited about what technology, because when I started working, didn't have cell phones, there was no laptops, I didn't have any of that. And I hate to date myself too much.
Crown Vic,
suit and tie,
old school sales, I love it.
Yeah, but when I started off in the newspaper business, actually, and then was in the construction business, so
I can see him as a newsie.
I sold advertising, did some sports, did those things. But but the technology allows that flexibility today, so that if you need to be remote, and I work remote and it works for my lifestyle, because I'm moving around a lot. But Cody gets a day to be remote. He can do what he needs to do. He has days in the office. The flexibility of the modern world, I think, is tremendous, and I think we should appreciate it. I think post-COVID is a better blend of all of it.
Yeah.
So.
But it's also one of those things. Yeah, there's it's. I don't think there's a simple answer for every individual or every company or something like that. Right. It's one of those things where companies have to experiment with, okay, how do we retain the best people, and still, because I want to hire you, but you only want to come to the office 2-3 times a week because you have an offer somewhere else where you can come in 2, whatever that looks like. So it does have to be kind of trial and error, because we're still kind of learning how this works moving forward.
But it's then even more important for people to, if they're working from home a lot, to get out to these networking events that you put on and the AADE puts on, so they can actually build their network and interact with people instead of just hiding in their shell.
I've always said this. When I say always, this means the past year I've said this.
Yes.
You don't want to build your networks for you don't want to build your networks for tomorrow. You want your networks today. You need to build networks today for tomorrow. And I think that you're right. That's something that people like, I'll get to it. I'll get to the next one. But you don't know what's going to happen in your career, your company, or anything like that between now and the next one. So get out there, meet people, and I'm not saying transactionally meet people. Like, oh man, Cody, could I get the the bits or whatever? Just meet people to meet people.
Yeah.
I think that to me, make some friends. To me, that's the most important thing.
And our industry is, I've worked in a few industries. Our industry stands apart in the sense that you get to meet people from a lot of different cultures, a lot of different backgrounds, and like Mr. Godsell here, extraordinarily smart
President
people.
Godsell.
Yeah, very, very. Just the people I meet, sometimes I'm thinking, oh my gosh. How is that person so smart?
I know, Michael Hale.
Because I'm not.
Michael Hale,
Yes.
Dunn. Very, But that's the thing. It's like, we have some very smart, interesting.
Yeah.
We're not, again, we as an industry, we're faced with these two stereotypes: the uneducated roughneck slinging tongs, or the 75-year-old dude on the 75th floor who's dumping oil behind in some swamp but we are so much more than that. We're engineers, we're attorneys, we're marketing professionals, we're technology gurus. I mean, there's a lot that industry offers.
Right. And how boring would life be if you didn't have an eccentric group of wide friends, right?
That'd be pretty brutal. So Jury says that AADE has a student section at OU and OSU. And she also says that we should get more industry on campus to network with the students, or get them involved with our chapter events. We need to get the professors at the university involved also. That's a great point. So one thing that I'm actually kind of working on right now, I want to bring something to the universities, and I want to travel around and kind of bring some EMP operators or bring some service side to speak to the students, and to kind of just what I did at Texas A&M SBU. And I brought, Keith Ogden with Escondido, Ross Hayes with Paloma, Willie Nelson, and Tyler Schultz with Aventive. And we all sat there, all different experience levels, all different backgrounds. And it was such a cool conversation. And I completely agree with what Jerry's saying. It's like, I want to replicate that throughout various universities. And I'm kind of working on that now. So if you want to get involved in all that stuff, give me a shout.
Well, all you need to do to get the students to come out to those events is to offer free lunch.
Pizza. Yeah.
Lunch and learns are a hit. It was in the petroleum department at mines. It was always a point of contention. We would see mechanical engineers and chemical engineers, and they'd be sneaking into our lunch and learns. And they're like, "Oh, everybody hates petroleum until we're offering free lunch."
Dude, it's a good
way to reach out to everybody.
You're right. We went to A&M, and they're like, "Yeah, we're expecting a lot of people." And I'm like, "All right, thanks. I appreciate that." It's like, "Oh, no. We're getting free pizza. We're getting pizza there." I was like, "Oh, I'll take it. Yeah. Free meals are crucial for college kids. Yes. And that's how you get in front of them. Yeah. And I can help you get put in the student section across the U.S. I'm going to be contacting you. Thank you so much for that. All right. So I dig it. So what else? I think those are good combos.
Yeah, that was good.
Yep.
All right, everyone out there. I want to thank you all for tuning in to Breakfast Runs with me, your host, JP Warren. And if you'd like to find out more information about Kids Crew, reach out to me or check out www.kidscrew.com for Kids Crew Oklahoma City. And if you'd like to donate for me when I chop my locks for children and families who are fighting pediatric cancer, go ahead. And if you want to see me and these cats at the AADE MidCon Symposium, that word, symposium, it's always some fancy. But if you want to check them out at September 13th, Norman, right? Let me put that
Suites in Norman.
Let me put that banner back up.
Which is a wonderful place. It's a great place to have an event if you've never been there. Embassy Suites is top notch.
So I'm going to be there doing a live broadcast. Matt Hill will be doing a live broadcast. You're going to hear some great conversation from DRW, some great speakers as well, some great sponsors. That's
good
actually
technical conversation.
Yeah, so there's still room for exhibitors. There's still room to time to get tickets at a discounted price. You're not dropping $150. So I will see everyone there. And Michael says, Jerry says, thank you, JP, Cody, and Scott. No, thank them, not me. I just that's my ride to the airport. So that's kind of why I'm here right now this morning. Yeah. So, and right now with the coffee situation, it's 4 stars right now. Maybe it might be 5 after the ride. So I gotta be honest.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna be real. And I will see everyone there in the Oklahoma City. And honestly, if you're from out of state or you're living in Texas or the Permian, you want to get plugged into Oklahoma, that's a great place to kind of to network and to get to meet people. But anyway. It's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna be up here all week because that Thursday we have a crew club event. Yep. And Friday I'm gonna hit up the Social Octanes golf games and plug.
That seems like it'd be fun.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a good time.
And then
could be a long time.
We'll give shout out to the other group. API has their kickoff luncheon that Thursday. And we'll have a crew club that night, and then Friday's golf games.
Yeah, it's gonna be a busy September.
September. I want to quickly ask Michael Hale. Michael Hale missed the crew club event last night because he had something more relevant in his life, but that's okay, Michael. We're still upset. So Michael had a Oklahoma Geological Foundation networking event at Topgolf. It was Swing for STEM. And they also help out a lot of the community when it comes to STEM activities and STEM support. So, Michael, if you're still listening, you're probably not. I just want to see how it went yesterday at Topgolf for the Oklahoma Geological Foundation. And it's gonna be an awkward silence as I wait because
And
he's
we're
probably
sorry,
off.
Mike, that we missed that. I'm sorry I didn't get to go.
Don't. What is that?
Well,
I'm sitting right here.
I was with you.
Yeah. Don't make me feel bad because you choose what you want. Okay?
I know.
All right. So
next
anyway.
time I'll probably choose Mike over you. But I'm just no, I'm kidding.
Okay. Well,
Can't make everybody happy.
don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm going to clip the section where he's like, "Yeah, I don't work that hard." I'm going to clip that in. That's what I'm going to post from now on. So anyway, I want to thank everyone out there. It was awesome, sold out event.
Wow.
That's
Great.
awesome to hear, dude.
Great.
I love that. I'm gonna give you a shout. Let's talk about that a little bit. But everyone, if you want to learn more about whatever, reach out to them. Reach out to me. We have a lot of exciting stuff coming on. September is going to be legit. James Van Alsen came, got to chat with some new people. That's awesome. See that? So James, I was on the podcast before. I met him through crew events and all that stuff. And awesome dude. I love seeing two great people from Crew Club connect outside of Crew Club. That's what it's all about, the relationship.
Great.
So I dig that. James, it was a great event and wonderful turnout. I love it. Still tuning in the last minute. I dig it. So I'll see all y'all on the September 13th at the in Norman, Oklahoma. Norman, right?
Yes.
Norman, Oklahoma. I'll see y'all September 13th. And if you want to reach out to them, if you want to learn more about Kids Crew and all that fun stuff, reach out to me. So thank you all. Everyone have an excellent Friday, an excellent weekend. Any words of wisdom?
I don't have any of those.
No.
Okay, we got no
gave
wisdom.
up on my
We're done with wisdom over here. So now it's time for y'all. So thank y'all, and we'll talk to you soon. And hold on. So James is an actor, right? And he was an extra in the upcoming Scorsese movie. And he's done a bunch of other stuff, little stuff too. And he goes, I'm actually listening to your podcast on the Set of the Stallone TV show. I love that. I love that.
Nice.
All right. So you tell Sly we said hello. We're huge fans.
Yes.
Michael, you got it tonight, buddy. All right. We're going Tuesday or Wednesday. We're going to Frida. I'm in. I dig it. So thank you all. Michael, great to hear that it was a great success. Drew, thank you so much for your support and all you do for the Oklahoma City region. Not just the plaster and wall, but I mean, you're keeping these people in line, which I love. So,
Jerry is the glue of the oil field.
She's the glue of the oil field.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. And I think she got us connected with OERB and all that stuff. Oh, OERB is going to have a STEM station as well at Kids Crew, and we're very excited about that. But I want to thank everyone there and out there, and have a great rest of the weekend.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Now we got to be awkward where I just turn it off.
Thank you.